All right, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and all the reason why we have were the instruments used to bring about this truth, to us, so we could bring it out, to the rest of the elect that's out there, to wake up the ones that haven't been woken up yet. Last minute, Akim and Akwat. All right, shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, but the Spirit bears witness that they're the children of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, meaning they're Israelites. And also, and shalom. Hey, shalom to the sincere Akim. Actually, shalom to the sincere Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire. Shalom. Hey, grinding nonstop for this truth. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners that be like unto the speckled. Shalom to the elect among the Israelite foreigners that be like unto the speckled bird, looking like the other nations, but the Spirit bears witness that they're the children of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And shalom, meaning the Israelites, and shalom to the real sisters out there who are actually holding it down, staying in order, not being like the wicked so-called women of our nation. These shameless women, these hoes, these bitches, not being like them, but actually staying in order, and actually, staying in order, despite staying in order, even though, there's so much pressure to step out of line, out of order, and, to go off. Just shalom to the rest of the elect out there, the rest of the, shalom to, the rest of the elect, the men that may not be able to bring it out because they're too disabled, but they believe. I know one of them, not able to go to camp, but they do help the prophets. And, the children that tune in and listen, they're not of age yet, but they believe. Shalom to all of y'all, and this lesson is to edify y'all. I'm gonna to warn the sheep, warn y'all, the time's coming, and one of the signs of the end, the earth being out of course, famines. Hey, famines in different places, man. That's one of the signs. Famines, earthquakes, shit like that. And with this, let me find my sword. With this crazy weather that we got, it's gonna cause a famine. It's gonna lead to a famine. It's gonna be one of the causes of the upcoming great famine. The worst famine that we ever gonna have, man. Because you got the West getting burned up, and they're getting dried up and getting burned up. Record high temperatures. All the way from Arizona and shit, that area. The border with Mexico and shit. And probably New Mexico too, all that area, man. But the Arizona border, the Southwest border, not Texas border, but after the Rockies and shit, like past the Rockies, west of the Rockies, the Arizona Mexico border, all the way from there in the California Mexico border, all the way up to even some in Canada, in Western Canada. You had extreme heat over there. You had that northwest heat wave that set a bunch of records, man, a bunch of records, and was kick-starting the fire season, made it even worse. There's hella fires in Western Canada, all the way down to Cali, man. There's a whole bunch of them, and the drought, there's a drought, and then the heat, no, and no doubt, these fires also being caused by direct energy weapons. They basically, it's like a huge laser gun in the sky, basically, huge laser gun up in space, directs energy towards a specific area and starts the fires, man. Or it could start a fire, it can be used to start a fire, and it has been before. You had these wildfires, unusual ways they started, wasn't like a normal wildfire, and you had you had that one fire, I think it was in, hold on, Topanga, I think, the Topanga wildfire that was caused by that Topanga wildfire, which, yeah, Topanga wildfire, let me find it. I think it was Topanga, it was near Topanga. It was near it, I think. It was like Parkland or something like that. No, I may be confusing it with another event though. But it was like in the area or something, I think. Topanga State Park fire. You had ever since it's back in Powell State fire. There's one fire that was basically, just was burning the cars and shit too and all that. Something like, I don't remember the details about it. Like, it's been some time, but I do remember there was like some unusual shit going on. With the fire not burning normal, like not burning these area. I think it was the houses or the trees that was not being burnt normal or some shit. Like, I think so. I think it was the trees that wasn't being burnt normal. But anyways, there's been many cases of basically the direct energy weapons, bro, being used. And then HARP is also used for this purpose. It's an acronym, HAARP, and it's a weather weapon. It's used to manipulate the weather, and it can be used to create hurricanes, just downpours and shit, fucking droughts, different ways they can create it, and wildfires, even earthquakes can even be used to create earthquakes, and heat waves, and these devils, they've used it many times, with these hurricanes like Katrina, fucking Sandy, like they fucking intensified real fast, like unusually, and other signs that showed that it was HARP and it was chemtrails involved, because they also used that, the barium aluminum that sprayed in the sky, they'll spray it over a certain area, just to cause storms to intensify or some shit like that. And you've had a lot of that. It's called geoengineering. You've had a lot of that going on in the western parts of the U.S., causing the drought over there, and causing the wildfires and causing the heat waves, which lead to the wildfires and lead to the the rivers and creeks drying up and lakes drying up. And, you know, in the east and in the south, they be using it to create these unusual downpours. You know, you've been having a whole bunch of them too. Like over here in Texas, you know, it's been raining. You know, it's been raining so much, man. It's been raining so much, and it's been that way for the past few months. You know, it's been the rain, you know, to stop sometimes, but you know, it's been a lot of rain, you know, a lot of flooding going on and shit. And we know that Esau, you know, that devil Bill Gates, aka Bill Gates of hell, or Bill hates Jake. You know, we know that devil. You know, we know he released the mosquitoes. You know, so this is so the mosquitoes can proliferate, and they have. You know, I'm over here and it's mosquitoes all over, man. You know, these devils, you know, that's the reason why, you know, they're flooding out Texas, they're flooding out other parts of the South, you know, the East. New York getting flooded by, already, you know, New York is getting flooded as well. And I believe there's a tropical storm that's headed towards them, which I wouldn't doubt that Esau created it. I wouldn't doubt that Esau also created this storm or influenced it. Yeah, it also racing. Oh, it's racing through the northeast after making landfall in Florida, tracking through the southeast. And ultimately, you know, and let me get some scriptures, man, on this, you know, because this is a part in time, because you know, this will lead to the mosquito plague getting worse, and you know, it's when lead to mosquito plague getting worse first off, and that's a pestilence. You know, a whole bunch of mosquitoes and shit. It's a plague, which is like another word for it. And mosquitoes can spread pestilence. There's many mosquito-borne illnesses that can spread. You know, and these devils said that it would stop it, but you know, we gonna see. We gonna see. I believe there was like this illness that was spreading throughout the South and shit. And it was like when it was raining, after it was raining a lot, got there a whole lot of rain. So it could have been spread by the mosquitoes, bro. Could have been spread by mosquitoes. And they're blaming it on mask use, distancing, decline. But we know these devils, you know, they're steady pushing that shit. They'll say anything. These devils will pull anything out of their ass to basically to justify mandating that shit. And let me get Matthew 24, and you know, hey bro, they you know, yeah, man, they'll pull anything out their ass to justify that. But we know that, you know, that's not the case. You know, they're lying. And let me get mad, because you could wear any type of cloth over your mouth and nose, and it counts as a mask. You know, so we know that to be propaganda. But anyways, let me get to these scriptures Revelation 24 and 7. For nation shall rise against nation. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines. and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So famines and pestilences, both of this, this shit gonna, these rains, bro, they lead to that, man. These these floods lead to that because it's huge areas of standing water and shit as well. That's like a mosquitoes. That's like mosquito heaven right there. Because they have a whole bunch of kids and shit. They have a whole bunch of baby mosquitoes, and you have a whole bunch of adult mosquitoes. And then you have so you have that, the mosquito plague. And who knows, what Bill Hates Jake did, in them labs, man. Who knows what he had them scientists doing them labs, man. Maybe it was supposed to prevent, Zika and shit like that, and other illnesses that's transmitted by mosquitoes. But who knows? Who knows? And these devils, they don't keep it 100. It's always maybe something else. Maybe there's another problem that was made worse. You never know, man. Maybe they. I wouldn't be surprised if they gave if they spreading, or they plan to spread pestilence with the mosquitoes, and they're gonna say it's the Rona, and we should have listened and shit. Or it's the my bad, hey Salakia, it's the Crown Royal 1984 edition. And we should have listened to the authorities. It's in the Delta variant got worse or some shit. The D variant, the D variant got the Delta Airlines variant got worse and shit. But they got another one. It's called the Lambda, the Lambda variant or some shit. The Lambda, they calling it after the next letter in the Greek alphabet. The alphabet variants, man. Maybe be the next one. The next one is that, oh, see, we told you so. They released the actual plague. Wouldn't be surprised. But anyways, yeah, man. That'll be caused by that. And then the famine in the western part of the country. You could see it. See the famine developing. From what's going on in the western part of the country. Hey, man. Hey, what's going on? Spiritual. What's going on in the eastern part and the southern part of Babylon could cause pestilences, actual pestilence to be released, and they creating the environment, and spread through mosquitoes. And what's happening in the western part of the country, could kickstart this famine, So, hey, it's spiritual because, in the scripture it talks about, and there shall be famines and pestilences, like it's right next to each other, famines and pestilences, followed by earthquakes, of course, diverse places, but famines and pestilences is right next to each other. It's, interesting how it's like that, and how you got it set up like that. Esau using his harp to make it happen, which of course Esau, he's the sword. He's the sword of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, So he's actually being controlled by the Most High Yahweh, but he don't know it. He thinks that he's doing all this on his own, and so he's proud as fuck. But he's being controlled by the Most High Yahweh. He was actually set up by the Most High Yahweh to be power in these last days. Being the last heathen, the last heathen nation, the lowest of the heathen, the basest of men, to rule over us and the other heathen nations. And this captivity being the worst, it was all set up to happen. And let me get Psalms 17 and 13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him and cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. There you go. Deliver. Hey, Esau, the wicked is Esau, the so-called white man. And he's the sword of the Most High Yahweh. Which is why he was blessed with the sword. And let me get he thinks that he's working with Satan and Satan is going to help him against the Most High Yahweh. But he himself is bugged out, man. He's bugged out. He doesn't know. He doesn't. These elites may know more than the average peon, Edomite, or 2/3 Jake out there. Peon heathen out there, but they don't get that. They don't know. They don't really. They they don't understand that. They don't understand that they're really puppets, because the spiritual demon Satan, he's basically in charge of the evil angels, basically in charge of the angels on the left. He's, let me get it. Job. Well, let me get the deceived and the deceiver his. Well, let me get Job 9:24, showing you who the wicked is. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, who, where, and who is he? That's obviously, the people. Who's ruling the world right now? Who's running this bitch right now? Obviously Esau, the so-called white man, starting with the so-called Jays, man. Starting with them, which is the chief house of Esau. They are so-called white people. They're just the chief house. They're what Esau, the so-called white man, is to the rest of the heathens. They're that for Esau. Which is why he hates them. But, they're his people too. But, hold on. Let me get, the deceived and the deceiver are his. Job 12 and 16. With him is With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. The deceived and the deceiver is these devils, man. They follow controlled opposition, so they themselves are puppets, man. They're puppets, and they're gonna be taken. And it's time for them to be taken down, they're going to be taken down, and there's nothing they can do about it. Job 3, and they're going to fight, but that's all part of the movie. They're going to lose. Job 1, and let me get that real quick. Job 1 and 6. Now there was a day when the sons of power Yahweh came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them. Verse 7, and Yahweh said unto Satan, there you go, and Satan came also among them. Verse 7, and Yahweh said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, so he answered Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, no, so he said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. Verse 8, and Yahweh said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth power Yahweh and escheweth evil? Hast thou considered my servant Job? So, basically he's answering to the Most High. He's reporting to the Most High Yahweh. Verse 9, if you had gone rogue, then, if he gone rogue, then, wouldn't be like that, he wouldn't be answering them and all that, They're showing you that Christianity got it wrong. Verse 9, then Satan answered Yahweh and said, doth Job fear power Yahweh for naught? Verse 10, has not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. Verse 11, but put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. Verse 12, and Yahweh said unto Satan, behold, all that he has is in thy power. He had to allow him. Behold, all that he is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahweh. So he was reporting to him, man. He was reporting to him. Oh, and then Job 2:1. Again, there was a day, Again, there was a day when the sons of power Yahweh came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them to present himself before Yahweh. There you go. The sons of power Yahweh, and the angels, both the celestial ones and the earthly ones, because angel simply means the messenger. Satan came also among them to present himself before Yahweh. Showing you right there, man. The spiritual demon Satan, he answers to the Most High Yahweh. He answers to him. Because, hey, the Most High, Satan, the word Satan means adversary, so he's created to bring that adversary, because the Most High Yahweh, his eyes are too pure to behold evil. But let me get another scripture where the Most High Yahweh say, he creates good and evil. So who would be in charge of bringing that evil? Who would be in charge? Salakia, I gotta stop saying it. It's a habit I gotta practice. Because it's like, gotta get to the point, man. Gotta get to the point. Like as efficiently, there you go, as possible. But let me get Habakkuk 1:17. Thou art of pure eyes than to behold evil, and canst not look on iniquity. Wherefore lookest thou upon them that deal treacherously, and holdest thy tongue when the wicked devoureth the man that is more righteous than he? So thou art of pure eyes than to behold evil. There you go. Then you go to that one story, You go to that one story, or that one account, I should say. The story makes it sound like it was made up. That one account in the Bible, let me get it. Where Saul was basically delivered into the hands of these heathens, because he was going off. he was going off. You know, he was tripping. So let me go where. So it was meant to judge him. You know. And let me get like he was gonna be judged for all that. You know, ever since he actually I could get Isaiah verse. You know, I get that, and that kind of solidifies the point here. You know, for those, just gonna touch on it real quick. I'm not gonna, can't really be going into it that much like I used to, because I gotta get to the point. But and also because this truth has been out for a minute. Let me get I get where in Isaiah where it says, "I how I create good and evil. I the Lord do all these things." Isaiah 45:7. Isaiah 45:7. Let me get it. I form the I form the verse 6 that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. Verse 7. I form the light and create evil. I make peace and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. You know, he's the most high Yahweh. There's no other most high, is basically what that means. No, he is the most high, you know, and he creates good and evil. But you know, I just brought out in Habakkuk chapter 1 that the in verse 13 that the most high Yahweh, you know, he is a pure eyes and to behold evil. You know, which is, by the way, you know, this elder brought it out, and it's, you know, it shows it, you know, proves it as well, you know. It's like a kind of like almost a precept to it, you know. Basically, the Most High Yahweh, you know, he basically his presence left Yahweh Shai when he was on the cross, you know, because because he is of pure eyes than to behold evil. You know, well, I mean, yeah, you know, yeah, so you know, because that's also, hey, you know, it shows that, you know, couldn't behold that. So, you know, yeah, man. So, who carries out this evil that the Most High Yahweh creates? You know, the spiritual demon Satan. That's who do it. And we already showed how he reports to the Most High Yahweh. You know, so there you have it. Anyways, Shalom, back on it. Alright, let me find that account. Then I gotta get back on the subject because I'll be trying to address certain accounts as well. I'll be trying to address certain topics. There you go. That people might have doubts about, newcomers might have doubts about or whatever. But maybe I shouldn't. One Kings. Yeah, none proved my point, but good enough. One Samuel. In Samuel. Might be in here. Where basically where a lion spirit was sent to the prophets, to the false prophets, to deceive Saul into going to fight at the battle of Ramoth Gilead against the Philistines, and he got fucked up. He lost, took hell. I can't find it. Probably just yeah, it ain't the point of the live anyways. All right. I'm gonna move on. You know, I think I proved my point. All right, so yeah, man, Esau, the sword. Well, yeah, Esau, the sword of the Most High Yahweh, who follows out. Basically, think he doing it all on his own because he got Satan on the side and shit. Well, that one, and basically, you know about that, you know that, you know these devils is slipping up more, showing you that, you know, the left hand side is not, you know, working with them as much. You know, they're getting desperate. But yeah, you know, let me bring out some more scriptures on this. You know, and I also want to go into the cyber polygon, you know, that happened today. I'm gonna go into that as well. That drill event, which let me get, which they could always cause it to go live and shit. When it was 9:44, meaning it was 1:44 somewhere. Call out Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Hashem Kadash. Let me bring this out. You know, we can't be ignorant. Basically, you know, Esau's devices, basically. And Esau's weapon that he's using to basically bring about this famine and probably set the stage for pestilence. Not because actual pestilence is prophesied, not just this fake scandemic, but an actual pestilence. And let me get 2 Corinthians. It's actually in 2 Corinthians, and I'm hold on. We get 2 Corinthians 1, 2, and 11. Lest Satan should get advantage of us, we were not ignorant of his devices, like a harp device, geoengineering, and also predictive programming. These devils showed you in Geostorm that this was coming, man. I mean, you know, all that was there, man. It's a movie called Geostorm, and it showed you that, you know, they're not gonna tell you straight up, like straight up, but they're gonna show you in a roundabout way what they're gonna do. Hint at it, basically. Geostorm, yep. The 2017 movie, after an unprecedented series of natural disasters threatened the planet, the world's leaders came together to create an intricate network of satellites to control the global climate and keep everyone safe. But now something has gone wrong. See, this is how they're framing it, but they're showing you what they're going to do. The system built to protect Earth is attacking it. And it becomes a race against the clock to uncover the real threat before worldwide geostorm wipes out everything and everyone along with it. Yep, and get the trailer for it. I'm gonna share it since most likely you're not gonna be able to hear it. Because I'm streaming this and you have that as well, you know. Right there. Yeah. It's called subliminal messages and shit, but it's not so subliminal now. But it's still hints. It's not like outright right away. You know? I mean, just what I meant to say, like they're not gonna leak the whole truth like that. In a way, basically they're saying Esau's logic is, oh, since I kind of sort of told them what I was gonna do, you know, I didn't really do not, I didn't really do nothing wrong, that's the devil's logic. They should have known that it was coming. They could have stopped it, but Esau, at the same time tells you it's fiction. It doesn't tell you straightforward what he's trying to do. It mixes it with lies, bullshit. Also that it's hints mixed with lies and bullshit. So, and they call it fiction. They say it's just a movie. So Esau's the damn devil though. The damn devil can't be 100 with you. It's not in him. Deep freezes in areas that don't usually get deep freezes. No, showed you that in the trailer. Tornadoes, hurricanes. Oh, it shows New York City getting flooded. What it's like, you get, yeah, from a hurricane, I believe. And these hurricanes are getting more powerful and powerful. Because they're playing with the weather. And there's one part that I want to get. Some things goes on to say some things. Oh, it's turned into weapons for that. Weren't meant to be controlled. Some things weren't meant to be controlled. Because these devils want to be the most high Yahweh, controlling everything. So they, of course, they get a chance to control the weather. They take it. They got a chance. But the Most High Yahweh is controlling them. Most High Yahweh really got it all under control. So he's controlling them. The deceived and deceiver are his. But let me get Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14 and hold on. Where it talks about these devils want to be like the Most High, Yahweh. These devils are mockingly called Lucifer in this chapter. Isaiah 14 and 11. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee, corrosion. That's what the worms symbolize. Verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Verse 13, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend unto heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of power Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Yeah. You know, this devil said in his heart, which really the word there is la, meaning mind. So his head, his head, right? Really. You know, he said that I will be like the Most High, you know, and his let me get it, verse 14. I will send my above the heights of the clouds, I will be like the Most High. That's what this devil said in his lob, in his mind, man. You know, and that's why, you know, that ambition has driven him to do all this, man. That ambition is driving him into space, bro. You know, he really wants to take down the Most High Yahweh. He wants to when he sends his son Yahweh Shai, he thinks he can do it. He thinks that he's shook, but at the same time he's like, I'm gonna be able to do it. He's like, there's a chance for me. I could do it. You know, he's proud, man. You know, I had the Israelites in the captivity so long. So yeah, you know, he's like, I control the weather. You know, Esau's like, Satan helped me get the ability to control the weather, so he's gonna help me take down the Yahushai. You know, this devil is proud in his heart. You know, when that's not gonna happen. You know, this devil, you know, he's deluded, man. You know, he has delusions of grandeur, man. He really ain't shit. Verse 15, but that explains his mindset, you know, it's my whole point for bringing that out, you know. And this devil, you know, he really thinks he's on some type of level, you know. But he's not, you know, he's really he's basement level. He's basement level, man. This devil. He's a basement level devil. He ain't shit. You know. Hey, if the basement had a basement, that's his level. Actually. He ain't shit. You know, he's a lowly cave beast, you know. But the Most High Yahweh, you know, he raised up the basis of men. You know, he put in charge the basis of men, you know, just to smash them. Just to smash them to pieces. Just to show his power, man. That's why he raised these devils up. That's why he raised Pharaoh up. And all these other heathens that ruled over us and oppressed us. That's why he raised them up, to crush them. You know, and the same with this beast, this devil. You know, he was raised up to be made an example of. The biggest example. You know, hey, Most High Yahweh. Hey, think of it like this, you know. So, hey, really, the Most High Yahweh, you know, he flexing his power, man. Really, the Most High Yahweh is flexing his power. He'll raise up this devil to control the whole world, man. One time to take our people down, take our people out, and take him down. You know, because Roman Empire was taking down using our people. Starting with Septimus Severus, the first that so-called started a line of so-called black kings. I mean, so-called black emperors of Rome. You know, but it was like a process. You know, all the way to Constantine. You know, from 200-year process. But yeah, man. And then raising these devils up again. Because our people was fucking up what was going on. We raised these devils up again. But ultimately, you know, look at the whole scheme of things, man. I'm gonna raise up, the flags. I'm gonna raise up the basis of men out of the caves. I'm gonna raise up the base of men. You wouldn't think we'd be able to to come out of that situation. I'll raise up the base again from the caves of the Caucasus Mountains. I'll raise them up, the people who are most unfit to rule. And I'll raise them up to control the whole world and make them think they're on some type of level. And then when they think they got it all, when they think, and now I'm going to raise up my prophets. And then I'll raise up my prophets, wake up the elect, and then, allow them to last to rock, allow them a chance to move on my elect. Then when they do, I'm going to smash them. When they do, I'm going to smash them. Allow them to think they got it all. They got it all in the bag. And then when they hey, so many precepts just coming to mind. When they about to fill their belly, I'm gonna smash them, I'm gonna uppercut them. I'm gonna smash them to smithereens, man. The biggest, Most High Howard, he's showing his power, man. He's showing his power. He's gonna show his power in a big way, in a big way, Let me get think about that, man. You devils was raised up to oppress our people and oppress the whole world just to be made an example of. Let me get it. Romans chapter 9. I'm gonna start at 13 because he talks about Esau. And then I'm gonna read on down. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Verse 14, what shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with power Yahweh? Power Yahweh forbid. Verse 15, for he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. Verse 16, so then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of power Yahweh that showed mercy. Verse 17, for the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Verse 18, therefore had he mercy upon whom he will have mercy, and on whom he will he hardeneth, just like he did Pharaoh. Verse 19, thou wilt then say unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Because our people like to question why the wicked are in power and why the world is so fucked up the way it is. But verse 20, nay, but old man, who art thou that repliest against power Yahweh? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Like the Most High Yahweh, the mind of Most High Yahweh is on a totally different level than we could ever, imagine. Can't be. That's why it says, who are thou that replies against power Yahweh, because we don't know his, we don't have the same mind as him. We're not on the same level, on the same wavelength. Verse 21, had not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? Verse 22, what if power Yahweh, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? Verse 23, that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy which he had afore prepared unto glory. Also that, is a big flex. I'm gonna raise these people up, and also raise them up over my people, over Yasharallah, over the princes of the power, the bases of men over the princes of the power, allow them to oppress them and to oppress the whole world, oppress all the heathens and the animals, even earth itself. And then, have them think that they're on some type of level then I'm gonna smash them, just show my power, and I'm gonna raise up my people. I'm gonna raise them up, and I'll put them on top forever. You know. Verse 24, even us, whom he had called, not of the Jews only, but also the Gentiles, because he's speaking of the Israelite foreigners. Hey, raising these devils up just to be smashed, then raising up our people out of like the worst situation that we've been in our whole existence. Not even having our heritage. Verse 25 kind of goes into that. And he said also in OC, which is Hosea, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved. Verse 26, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living power, Yahweh. Yep. Right now, we're at our lowest position, being called bywords, and those bywords, our people have taken those bywords and made them their identity. Actually, they were told that those bywords were their identity. So our people were, they were miseducated into believing that they were black, Latino, native, and for the speckled birds, the Israelite foreigners, if they were whatever heathen nation they were scattered among, and whatever byword they're being called among them, just our people believing that they're a bunch of heathens because they lost their heritage. Their heritage was taken from them, and that's a lower than we've ever been, man. That position is lower than we've ever been. Raising our people out of that position, starting with the elect. That's a miracle in itself, man. Just like these devils being in power and having this much control, being lowly cave beasts, is a miracle in itself. Like, they can't run shit, man. Let me get Daniel, where it talks about basically set it up over the kingdom of men, the basis of men, addressing that, because hey, the Most High Yahweh, man, he could do that. And he has done that. Let me get hold on, let me get that precept in Daniel. If any of y'all know, y'all could post it. Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over the basis of men. So he the one, the Most High Yahweh, is the one who has the power to do that. And so, hey, he raised up these devils just to smash them to pieces, and put us back in power for good this time. And let me get hold on. He raised up these devils, had them snatch our heritage from us, and now he's giving it back to us, all according to prophecy. Jeremiah only said he was going to do it as well, He said he was going to do it, and he did it. Even thou shalt lose thy heritage. Let me get it. Jeremiah 17:4. Jeremiah 17:4. Let me get it. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever, which goes into a very long period of time. You know? So he said he was going to do it, and he did it. And he said he was going to basically raise us back up. And, in Ezekiel 37. And he's doing it. He's raising our people back up, starting with the 144K, the rest of the 1/3. So these devils, my whole point for bring that out is these devils think they on some type of level, because they have that harp technology and all that. It's my reason for bringing that out. I'm not just going off on a tangent. Let me get I'm not just going off on a tangent. It's to prove a certain point that links up to another point. Let me get links up to the Esau's, the subject of the life, because Esau basically Esau's heart machine is on overdrive. Links up to Esau having that heart machine, thinking that he on some level, thinking he got it like that. But he was set up by the Most High Yahweh to bring it out. I mean, to basically, judge our people, man. He was set up to judge our people. Thou has let me actually address that real quick. Thou has set them up for correction. Habakkuk 1:12. Art thou not from everlasting, O Yahweh, my power? For mine Holy One, we shall not die. O Yahweh, thou hast ordained them for judgment, and almighty power thou hast established them for correction. So they were established to to correct us, and they themselves are ordained for judgment. They're gonna be judged for all the shit they're doing, and they're gonna be crushed, man. They're gonna be crushed. They're gonna eventually be done away with after building up our kingdoms. They're just gonna be nothing. That's what's gonna happen. Hey, man, Most High Yahweh, man. He's cold with it. He created a whole race of people, a whole nation of people. Just to just to use to punish our people, just use to judge our people, and then destroy, and then make an example of. The Most High Yahweh is cold with it, for real. Ezekiel 37 and hold on. Ezekiel 37. It talks about almost the whole chapter talks about our people like being brought back, basically. But let me just get a few verses off of that. Verse 7, because Jacob got next, man. But our people are being judged right now. Our people being judged right now. They're at the bottom right now. They ain't got it right now, but they got next. Ezekiel 37:7. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. Verse 8, and when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. We're speaking of the process of people waking up, the 1/3 in particular, gonna be woken up all the way. Verse 9, then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, and that they may live. Verse 10, so I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came upon into them, and they lived, and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Verse 11, then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dry, and our hope is lost. We are cut off from our parts. Yeah, man. Verse 12, therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus say the Lord Yahweh, behold, O my people, I'll open your graves and cause you to come out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. Verse 13, then ye shall know that I am Yahweh when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves. Verse 14, and ye shall put my spirit in you, and you shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. The process of that happening is going on right now. Then shall ye know that I am Yahweh, has spoken and performed it, saith Yahweh. Our people is being woken up to the knowledge of who they is. They dead, they's out, they lost their heritage, lost everything. Their heritage, which is their land, their language, and their identity. They lost it all. They're dead. In this place, America, Babylon. The valley of the shadow of death, man, under these curses. But they're being brought back. The 1/3 on this side is being brought back. The Israelites that are going to be saved from the second death. The 1/3 is being brought back. And then the 1/3 is going to be, and then after the 1/3 is brought back, eventually, pursuant to Revelation chapter 11, eventually, being beamed out of here before destruction, and then being placed in the land as well. It's going to happen through the 1/3, through the elect. And it's gonna. So you see, just as Esau coming to power, and us falling from our highest state to this lowest state, in captivity in the pits of hell, just like that was prophesied. Esau's downfall is also prophesied. These devils are actually helping to bring about their own downfall. That's the thing about it. They're being used to bring about their own downfall. These devils, hey, the Most High Yahweh got these devils in the trick bag, man. They're deceived. Hey, the deceivers are deceived. They're deceived into thinking that that destroying their own kingdom is a good thing, and that they're going to be able to, because they're deceived into believing that ordo ab chao shit. They're deceived. They got, Most High got them. Hey, Most High got them to thinking that starting World War III is a good thing. Hey, hold on. Most High Yahweh did a number on them, a bigger number on them than they did on us. Hey, they drunk the cup, man. They drunk the cup, y'all. They're already drinking. They already been drinking it. The cup of wrath, man. You know, them, which is compared to strong drink. Slide here for that. I'll be Esau's drum, man. Esau a drum. Esau a drum. You know, he's gonna be out soon. Completely out of power. Well, right now, hey, he's losing his grip. He's losing his power, man. Hey, the cup that was given to Babylon, the cup of wrath that was given to Babylon, you know, Esau, the ruler of Babylon, to give to the rest of these nations, and give to our people first off, and the rest of these nations. You know that philosophies and shit of Babylon, you know, democracy, religion, feminism, you know, homosexuality, you know, Edomite supremacy. You know, these are different, which is all part of that wine, man. All a part of that wine of fornication that was given to Babylon, to this great whore, Esau, he runs it, to give it to everybody else. You know, give it to everybody else, starting with our people. That same cup, you know, hey, Esau done took a sip of it, man. Thou also shall drink. And Esau took a sip of it, man. On that divide and conquer shit, that's a part of that wine, man. You know, individualism. Individualism is a part of it. Which creates that. Individualism creates it, you know, instead of unity, individualism. Instead of individualism, yeah, which is the root of capitalism, you know, so it's all about greed. You know, that was pushed. Hey, capitalism, that's part of that. All these isms, man. Capitalism, one of them. Capitalism, all these, man. All these isms they came up with. They're all the philosophies, vain philosophies. Let me get it. It's symbolic language the Most High how it uses to describe these philosophies. Hold on. Salaki, yo. The fruit of the serpent, serpent was a snake-like man. A snake-ass nigga. That was the serpent. Philosophies, it's philosophies that was given to Eve by the serpent. Vain philosophies. Philosophies and vain deceit. Colossians 2:8. These same philosophies. You have to remember, who was Paul speaking to? You know, they were the Colossians. You know, they lived in the city. They lived in ancient Greece, man. You know, and the Greco-Roman world was known for philosophies and shit. It was known for that. Let me get theories and shit, basically different theories about different shit. And I mean different teachings, man. Let me get Colossians 2:8. Damn, yo, hold on. Yeah, Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of man, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach Yahushai, man. You know that, because that's what this full system will do, man. They're basically giving you the fruit of the serpent, or the wine of her fornication. It's the same shit being spoken of. Let me get it. All nations have drunk of her wine. Revelation 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And who rules Babylon? Esau. You know, Habakkuk also describes what Esau did, you know. Habakkuk 2:15, because Esau is the modern day Chaldeans. You know, when Esau runs modern day Babylon. And the Chaldeans, they was known as the wise men of Babylon. You know, and something else, man. In South Africa, there's like, basically, you know, the elites is called the wise men. You know, so you can see there, you know, Esau is who really runs South Africa, you know. The Rothschilds still run it. You know, may have a Hamite face now, may have a Hamite in charge now, because Ham got fed up with Esau. So they had to do something. You know, they had to they had to throw their brothers under the bus over there, just to maintain control, and they will do that. They will do that. No honor among thieves. Will let me get back to the point. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him and makest him drunken. Also thou mayest look on their nakedness. Yep. You know, and it all links up, Akim. It all links up. Let me go to Genesis, talking about the serpent and his fruit. You know, it was like a strong drink as well, you know. Shit, hold on. I may have to grab it off. My little sword is kind of worn out. Yeah, I gotta get a new one. I gotta get a new one. But let me Google it. Genesis chapter 3, I believe. Genesis chapter 3. The book of Genesis, especially at the beginning, really at the beginning, the creation story, the first generations after, that time period of the creation, the beginning, right? All of that, it's described symbolically. Just like the end in Revelation, described a lot of it using symbolism. There's no 10-horn beast, no literal 10-horn beast that's running around here with 7 heads. That's symbolic language, for example. The dragon, symbolic language. There's no fire-breathing dragon running around here. That also casts a flood out her mouth, and some woman running, woman that was given literal wings to fly away from it into the wilderness. That didn't happen, and that's not record. That's not what. Yeah, it didn't happen. Not what we're talking about, man. Not what it's talking about. It's not what it's talking about. It's talking about represent is symbolic language. A dragon is Satan, adversary or chief adversary who Esau. The ten horn beast is NATO. Well, seven heads is NATO. The NATO EU countries. The whore that rides the beast is America. Babylon the Great. The also the little horn, also America too. You know the there's many. It's symbolic language, man. You notice that the beginning and the end is described with a lot of symbolic language. Just as the end is described with a lot of symbolic language, the beginning also, because it was a great event that happened. It was a what Esau calls a cataclysmic event. And uh, yeah, describing the ten horned beast, the seven kings, five are fallen and one is and the other is not yet coming. When he cometh, he must continue a short space. And yeah, and there are seven kings. Yep, a short space. Yeah, for the seven heads. Yep, it's an example of the symbolism. Verse 11, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth, and is of the seven, and goes into perdition. What you're speaking of, that seventh head, the UK, man, the British Empire, and the eighth came out of the seventh. America came out of the British Empire. But also the beginning, the symbolic language is used as well. Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more, just want to make that clear, clear that up. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh power had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, it had power. Yahweh said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And hold on, think I might have an interruption. All right, shalom, shalom. I'm back. All right, let me get back into these scriptures. All right, yeah, let me get back into these scriptures. Let me get into Genesis, and basically, I'm linking this all up. The fruit of the serpent. Basically, the fruit of the serpent. That's the drink. Well, that's the strong drink that that was in the hand of Babylon, the whore, the whore Babylon, which represents America, and which is controlled by Esau, Edom, and our people took a huge swig of the cup, of course, along with the rest of the nations. Our people was the first, though. Let me get Oh yeah, I was looking it up, yo. Genesis. Yeah. You should not. Yeah. This is devil, man. The serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Yahweh power had made. And he said unto the woman, had power Yahweh said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. No, that type shit, man. Are you sure it's what he meant? Because these different trees, they represented different nations. It's actually a breakdown the apostles did, man. You could look into that. The elders quick hits, GMS elders quick hits, or GMS elders the milk. If you want to look into that, like in depth. But basically, the trees, nations have been compared to trees, like Israel, compared to two olive trees, right? So the different trees of the garden was the different nations, symbolic. Because you know why? You know how you know? Because Genesis 1 and 29, the Most High Yahweh do not change. Genesis 1 and 29, Malachi 3 and 6, the Most High Yahweh don't change. Genesis 1 and 29, and power Yahweh said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon, verse 28, and power Yahweh blessed them, and power Yahweh said unto them, be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Verse 29, and power Yahweh said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding meat to you, yielding seed to you, it shall be for meat. So, but it was like this symbolic language then, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. It's double meaning to it, man. There's a double meaning to it. Because we was allowed to eat every type of tree. But verse 3, but of the fruit of the tree of the garden, which is in the midst of the garden, power Yahweh has said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest ye die. We're not supposed to go into the customs of these other nations, man. It was talking about philosophies, man. Especially Esau, man. Who was not called Esau back then, because he was not Esau goes back to Joshua being wasted away as he, and he was not wasted away back then, meaning, hold on, meaning he didn't have leprosy. He didn't have leprosy, he didn't have pale skin back then. This was before he did. So, man, basically we wasn't supposed to listen to these devils listen to the philosophies of these devils, these no, yeah, yeah. No, that's what would make it make sense. People like to say that, oh, Eve got with the serpent or whatever. Like, but that don't make sense. Looking into this and saying that. So it's all right for them to get with all the other nations, but that one nation, like that don't make sense. Because the tree of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, is called the tree of knowledge of good and evil and shit. Basically, they were like the so-called Illuminati was today, man. Basically, to be illuminated, to have knowledge that nobody else has, type shit. That was the so-called white man back then. You look at it. You really examine it, you can see it. That was Esau, the so-called white man. We wasn't supposed to take heed to Esau, the so-called white man, and believe in his philosophies. That's what that goes into. But that was the fruit was the philosophies. This fruit is also what something produces. Fruit is what a fruit is also an action. What something produces. Like how a fruit, like how it's written, by their fruits you shall know them. It's not talking about like literal fruits. It's talking about their actions. So the actions of these Edomites, well, which wasn't Esau back then, wasn't being called Esau back then, but they were the wicked. The actions of the wicked, the serpent, that it was to spread lies, bro. That was their actions, their fruits, the fruits that they produce was lies. And they called it knowledge of good and evil. It's 144. Kahala Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakaka dies. Hey, this is a sign right there, man. We've seen that a lot. Like I be seeing that way more often than before too. Sign we're on the right path. We're almost there. That's almost 10:44. It's 10:42. Confirmation, basically, is what it is. It's confirmation. People that ain't got no faith, they'll say you're bugged out for saying that. People that, hey, but a scoffer's gonna scoff. But anyways, a scoffer's gonna scoff because they don't know. But anyways, when I get to what I was getting into, yeah. These lies that cause death, man. These lies, believing in these lies cause death. But, he's a serpent, he's a deceiver. So he tells you that, no, you're actually, let me get into it. Verse 4. Hey, verse 3, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, power Yahweh has said, you shall not eat of it, neither lest shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Verse 4, and the serpent said unto the woman, you shall not surely die. And I tell, someone doubts. Verse 5, for power Yahweh doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And our people knew good. Our people knew good, the right-hand side, had the law, statutes, and commandments given to them when the Most High Yahweh put breath in the nostrils of Adam. That was symbolic, that was the same event being same as when the dead bones, the Most High Yahweh say he will put breath into him. He said it's his spirit. 1040, it's 1044. Hey, Kala Yahweh Shem Yahshai Bashem Kakadash. More signs. And see how they coincided. But let me there's more confirmations, man. More confirmations. So that was to know the left hand side. And the serpent, this devil, man, he was lying, of course, but he telling half truths too, because we also know the left hand side, like we knew the right hand side, we know the left hand side, evil, wickedness, know what it's like, to fall out, to fall out of the great good graces of the Most High Yahweh. And we have found that. And degrees to it, man, from the captivity in Egypt to the little mini captivities we had while we was in the land, to the captivity, the Assyrian captivity, the Babylonian captivity, each of us, pushing us each of them captivities pushing us further into the left-hand side. And I'm sure during the times, there's not really Genesis don't really go into detail like that, but I'm sure. But after the serpent seed, you had like the children of Cain, and Cain was Esau, man. Cain was Esau. He tried to kill Abel. He did murder Abel, who was Jacob. And and Cain, you look at what, even that, man. You look at what could go all day about it. You look at what the Most High Yahweh told Cain before he did what he did, after he offered an inferior blessing. And Cain murdered Abel. Cain murdered Abel, and you look at what happened. He was given that heads over him so he wouldn't be so no one would get payback for him murdering Abel. And evil's multiplied in the earth. Hey, the earth was full of violence. And then the flood came after. So you have to think, it's most likely, seeing how there's nothing new under the sun, most likely the descendants of Cain were the ones in power when the flood happened. You have to think. It's most likely the case. So Cain was Esau. When he was that mark of Cain, that said people would be able to distinguish, see who Cain was, man. Not to touch him. Was leprosy, that so-called white skin. And it's why Esau came back. Esau came back, pale as fuck. Esau came back, no melanin, having leprosy, wasted away from birth, man. Born out of his mother's womb, wasted away. Because he was Cain coming back. And he, what did he try to do? What did he do? He he lost out on his birthright, which is all set up. He sold it. Sold his birthright. He despised his birthright. And he also hold on. He gave Isaac, he was late to the blessing. to hey, he had the blessing taken from him, but basically, he had already you look at it, he had already lost it because he lost birthright, and the blessing belongs to who has the birthright. So, hey, yeah, man, Cain was Esau, and the serpent was Esau. So we our people through Eve, tasted that fruit, or drank that cup, which represents those philosophies. Same shit being pushed out, today. And then that same, it's the same thing. So I was basically bringing that out to show you it coincides. Verse 6, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And I'm going to get 7 too, because it coincides with what I brought out in Habakkuk. And the eyes of them were both opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. So what does Habakkuk 2 and 15 say? Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink. Does that drink, it's the same thing. It's those philosophies, being it's philosophies. Those philosophies being compared they're being compared to a strong drink, just like in here it was compared to fruit being pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desired to be desired to make one wise. Philosophies, when it all adds up, man. It all adds up. All that shit that these so-called Christians say, these philosophies that they have, theories that they have about what it says, what the garden, the fruit in the garden mean, and then also about what the wine of fornication is, don't make no sense. You think, hey, a tree to be desired to make one wise. Philosophies, you think you got this new knowledge or something. You think you got this outlook. You think you're being educated by these devils, man. You're being made wise by these devils. But instead, you're being made a fool. Instead, you're being deceived by the serpent, by Esau. And makest him drunken, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. And that's why Esau does it today. That's why Esau went around the world doing it, first to our people. And you can probably bet that Esau first went to Eve. Eve is always the one being, pushing those philosophies of the serpent. She's always the one promoting it, because nothing is new under the sun. And then Adam, representing the Israelite man. No, he is a real man. I'm not saying he wasn't. Adam was a real man, and Eve was a real woman, of course. But we call the Israelite woman Eve, because they're all like Eve, man. And then Jake believes in what Jake basically follows Eve. Jake is being raised by Eve from his youth. Fuck! I hate when they do that shit. Fucking devils. Oh, I'm actually still on 9. I thought they did shit they was doing before, kicking me out because Esau, because it was getting too hot in here. Too live. The live was way too live. But yeah, you know, hey, hey, let me get back to what I was saying. You know, it's all the same, man. The woman is being used to push the philosophies, you know, that she desired to make her wise. You know, it's the same thing going on since the beginning of time. Let me get Ecclesiasticus. You know, hey man, it all links up. This truth is beautiful, man. This truth is the cheat code right here, man. You know, the Most High Yahweh unlocking the seals of this book, man. This scroll, man. That's hey, man. More fulfillment of prophecies, man. Signs we at the end. The Most High Yahweh took the seal off this book, man. You know, so we'll understand before the true understanding of this Bible, man. It was not out there. It was not known. Let me get Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, just like to just show you that the thing that had been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. You know, and same old, same thing going on, being called something different. Verse 10, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new. It had been already of old time, which was before us. You know, hey, you know, it been happening. It been already of old time. Verse 11, there is no remembrance of former things. You know, that's why we don't consider this, you know. Really, there ain't, really, you know, there isn't, man. You know, even though we have a lot of these things written down in history, really a lot of the history isn't brought out, man. Neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. You know, but there's the point right there. You know, same thing. You know, the serpent's fruit, and the Babylonian wine. You know, Esau's Babylonian wine. Same thing. Same philosophy is being spoken of. And the same ones pushing it, Eve. But yeah, you know, they did it for what reason? They did it for what reason? Why did the serpent? So it was a nation of people. Why the serpent? But also probably a man too. And there's probably the serpent and his nation. You know, the serpent and the nation he came from. But a nation who knows? Who knows? We know that was it was a serpent. A serpent. You know, these are snake-like people. You know, had the mannerisms of a snake. Snake-ass niggas, man. And then it was a whole race of them. So one man that was like that. One man, talking about one man as well as the whole race, a whole nation. You know, Esau, who's today Esau, the so-called white man. You see it. Verse 7, and the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together. You know, this is why Esau did it. You know, to that he may look on their nakedness. You know, this is why he did it. They would be exposed. You know why? Because and they made themselves aprons. Why? Why would they be? Why are they exposed to danger? Because they went off, and the Most High Yahweh was no longer protecting them. And these nations, Esau and these other nations know that when our people are going off and you know they're not, you know, they're cut off from their power, man. They're powerless, you know. They know. Hey, Kala, how about shit me outside about shimmer cockatash, man. Hey, this truth, man. Truth make hey, the seals were open for real, man. Seals of this book. Seal on this book, man. You know, but now these devils are drinking that same cup. You know, they're hey, Esau got high off his own supply. Esau got high off his own supply. You know, he's you know, now his, you know, all these philosophies, now he's wholeheartedly believing in them, man. He's wholeheartedly believing in them. And it's causing division, man. And even though these devils had no honor in the first place, you know, so they're already individualistic, they're already evil towards their brother and everyone around them, you know, because they're the wicked. So how much worse with this cup, man? With these devils sipping on this cup, you know, it's you see the results of it, man. You know, these devils dropping dime on each other, exposing each other. You know, these devils, yeah, they exposed that haarp project, man. Dropping dime on each other, exposing each other. These devils, you know, they're divided, man. They're divided, which is how their kingdom is being brought down. You know, these devils, basically fucking up everything they do, man. Shit. Let me get Salaka, yo. Hold on. Let me get that scripture, man. These because this place is also Egypt all over again. You know, as well, spiritually Egypt. You know, that should be obvious, you know, to those that are in the truth, but to those that are newcomers, just look at a dollar bill. Look at the back of a dollar bill. It's a pyramid on it. It's an example of that. Look at DC, obelisk. You know, obelisk in many places. That's an Egyptian idol right there. It's a shaft. It's basically the, you know, it's a shaft, man. It's a rod. It's a dick. That's what it is. And something else. Hold on. You know, Memphis, Memphis, Tennessee on the Mississippi River, Phoenix, Arizona. So many signs. So many signs that this is Egypt all over again. You know, northern and southern kingdom in captivity here in America. Just like in Egypt. It's all there, man. Just, if you can see it, you know, if you can see it, you know, that's what's up. If you can't, you know, that's what's up too. You know, like, see you on the next side. See you on the other side if you can't see. But let me bring out these precepts. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14, verse 13, verse 11. Surely the princes of Zoan are Zoan, who knows, are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings? Yeah, referring also wise place. You can see why The Most High Yahweh refers to this place as spiritually being Egypt as well. Going back to the scriptures I brought out too, they always make themselves out to be that, the illuminated ones, the wise, the educated intellectuals. Always make themselves out to be that, man, but they ain't anything but, and they're being exposed as that. Verse 12, where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what Yahweh of hosts has proposed upon Egypt. Verse 13, the princes of Zon are become fools, the princes of Noph are deceived. Those basically two major cities over there in Egypt. Yeah. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the state of the tribes thereof, or governors, the governors. They seduce the governors here in modern day Egypt, America. Verse 14, Yahweh had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. There you go, Esau's already drunk off that same wine of fornication, that strong drink. Esau drunk off of it. He took a swig of that wine of fornication, and he's fucked up now. He's staggering in his vomit. That's why this devil's conspiracy is being exposed, man. Hey, this devil was drunk allowing the internet to go out, man. He was drunk. He was drunk allowing that shit. Now that's causing him to err, man, in every work, because these devils are getting exposed. So they're fucking up more, man. Because they're fucking up more because they can't sneak around behind everybody's back and do that type of shit no more. The spotlight is on them. So now, haarp is exposed. We didn't know about that. Haarp is exposed as one of the weapons they use. Direct energy weapons, it came out. Chemtrails came out. The shit they put in the food and the water, their jobs are being poisoned. Especially this one. Just as soon as Esau does a false flag, and not even a big one, a little one, as soon as he does a false flag, it gets exposed. All his past false flags being exposed, And these devils turning on their own, man. Also that. Back to what I was getting into before I got into all this, man, went into all that. These devils thinking that it's a good idea. They think that it is a good idea to basically to destroy their own kingdom. These devils thinking that it was a good idea to do that. That's being exposed. Well, that too, and that's being exposed. And also, hold on. That they're bringing their own rulership down, man. Not just America, well, mainly America. They're crown jewel. They're crown jewel. They're bringing it down. They're their biggest money maker. Esau's drunk, man. Esau's drunk. They're bringing out their biggest money maker. Their biggest cash cow, America. and then they're gonna use you know, they're bringing it down using they're using American government to do it. Yeah, Esau's gone, man. Think about it. He's already taken two rings, man. Bringing down the most of their crown jewel. Bringing down their crown jewel, you know, stirring up shit in the Middle East just to cause World War III, just to destroy their crown jewel, their biggest cash cow. Their biggest cash cow, you know, using NATO, you know, the military muscle. Eventually, raising up Russia. They was drunk doing that. Raising up Russia. You know, raising up Russia again. And they raised up Russia once, and then they raised up Russia once, and then they brought Russia back with Putin. You know, he was drunk, thinking, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to raise up Russia, Putin's Russia, just like we raised up Hitler's Germany, except we're going to destroy both America and Russia. But destroy the fuck out of America, and then we're going to build a new empire off the ashes of the person. He was drunk, man. If you think about it, just because he saw, man, the conspiracy of Esau, you know, to create a new world order. Like, if you think about it, no logical man would do that. Yet this is what this devil is trying to do. No man in his right mind, because he's drunk. Funny, man. Funny because it's true. Hold on. Proceed with it. But just gotta proceed with it, you know, I can't just like ramble on and on and on about the subject. But, you know, I just want you to like, hey, you know, just think about it, man, this devil out of here. Y'all to think about it. You know, just the gravity of that, man. Show you the devil. Just hey, show you that this devil is just, you know, he's finished, man. So it just shows you. Yeah. Hold on. I do gotta proceed and not just like be hung up on one subject. So I gotta address the other subjects. You know, listen. Hold on. It's funny how this devil is just basically he's taking himself down. He's taking himself down. You know, I mean, this devil wasn't right from the get-go. He wasn't right from the get-go because he designed his rulership. He designed, man, what the fuck? Yeah. He designed his rulership to be, hold on. You know, this devil wanted to make himself look all civilized and shit. Like he was a good guy. So he designed his rulership to basically give people the illusion that they had a say in his rulership. You know, and so he promised. And the way he set it up was fucking stupid. You know, he promised that he was gonna respect their rights and all that. You know, while not respecting their rights, thinking that they, especially Jacob, the Israelites, you know, that they was never gonna be woken up, and that they were gonna always be under that illusion that they had a say in his kingdom when they did it. Even, this devil never been right, you know. Even though Thomas Jefferson, who was a top devil, man. You know, even though Thomas Jefferson, he said that basically, you know, when the Most High, you know, he's about justice basically, and when he's gonna pay his country back. He said he trembled for his country when he got, you know, because basically this country got, and these devils, they knew it. They got hell to pay for it. They got hell to pay for all they did to us, man. 1 minute 44 seconds on the microwave. And when I looked at it, I was talking about it. But yeah, man. They knew that they was fucking up. They knew what they was fucking up. And they still did it. And they knew that the kingdom was set up in a fucked up way. They knew they fucked up from the jump. And Esau got drunk, right? You know, took a swig of his own wine of fornication. And it was like, no, wait, fuck all this. I'm going to destroy all this. I'm going to destroy this Western civilization that I so-called created. Really, I made the other people, mainly the Israelites, mainly the people who I'm in captivity, that I'm making out to be inferior, you know, and ain't shit. You know, when I really ain't shit. It's Esau, minded Esau, they're making them out to be that way. I'm going to destroy Western civilization. I'm going to destroy the own civilization that I rule over, and I'm made my slaves create. This damn devil, man. Just to build a new one. Just to reset everything and build a new one. This devil got drunk. Okay. I'm microwaving something, so try to give me something else to eat. This devil, you know, he got drunk. and you know, he got drunk, he got high off his own supply. Got high off his own supply and started tripping. He ain't been the same since. Let me hurry up and move on. And that's how, you know, it kind of reminds me of how these devils got hooked on opioids. Man, they was the ones pushing it on our people. They was the ones making it to push on our people. And then the Edomite tried it, and he got hooked on it. And got the other Edomite to try it. They got hooked on it. Shit, man, Edomites got hooked on it. They got a whole lot of Edomites hooked on opioids and all and shit. You know, just partly why you have what you have in Portland, Oregon, by the way. Why Portland, Oregon, you look it up. Portland, Oregon is the way it is. Because these Edomites got high off their own supply. And that's some funny shit. And then you got Moab taking advantage of it. Hey, curses hitting them. With the swig of that wine of fornication comes the curses. That's the consequence of it. Now, hey, that's the curses hitting them as well. Let me get that. Hold on. And the curses, hold on, I'll be back. But that's the Deuteronomy 30:7. The curses have been being put upon our enemies and all that hate us. Let me get back on it. You know, our people, the 2/3 are just going to be completely destroyed along with them. You know, on this side, they're just going to be destroyed. They're going to join in on that shit. But let me get back into this live. Yeah, let me get back into this live. Shalom. I'm back. All right, so yeah, what I was getting into is basically, you know, the curses. I was gonna bring out Deuteronomy 30:7 because this also links up with that. Esau getting drunk off of his own wine of fornication, you know, or like they like to say today, hey, you know, that saying, get high off your own supply, man. You got high off your own supply. Esau's getting high off his own supply. And that's why he's catching the curses, because the curses are the symptoms of that high, man. Of him getting high out. Well, basically, you know, or getting drunk. Basically, if you drink the wine of her fornication, which is the same as the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the philosophies, they all represent the philosophies of Esau, Edom. If you drink them, you know, the curses is what happens. It's what results from that. And so that's why Esau, you know, he basically, if you take heed to this devil, man, you know, you really do. You shall surely die. That's real. You know, that's real. You know, death. What do you see today? Death everywhere. These devils are ruling because our people took heed. Hey, the man that is death and hell is ruling because our people took heed. You know, but it was all meant to set up, meant to happen. You know, so these devils would be made an example in the end. You know, and now you see these curses being put on these devils. Deuteronomy 30:7. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee which persecute thee. That's why, you know, Egypt is basically failing, you know, failing in all her work, in all its works. You know, the modern day Egyptians, the Edomites, you know, they're slipping, man. You know, like a drunk man staggering in his vomit. You know, that's why, because the curses are hitting them. You know, that's why, you know, yeah, you know, that's why they're doing that. That's why they're destroying their own queen. That's why they're doing it. You know, they're destroying the most prized, you know, the jewel in their crown, man. They're destroying it, which is America, their biggest money maker, their cash cow. You know, that's why they're doing it. That's why the elites of Esau, Edom, you know, they're, besides doing that, besides having the government that they control destroy America, along with the rest of the world, but a lot of it's in America, destroy America with, you know, severe weather and shit, like unusual severe weather, like extreme heat on the west, extreme heat, drought, and wildfires. It's basically, that's like the process to light a fire, man. And so Esau, you know, Esau's trying to burn up the west, and flood the east. You know, you can see it, trying to flood the east in order to cause a famine, and, you know, also spread pestilence. You know, one side is going to affect the other, by the way. You know, what's going to affect the whole country, you know, even the world worldwide famine, worldwide pestilences. You know, and also when you have less when you're starving. Like people hit by famine are more susceptible to pestilences as well. You know, also that. And you know, so you know he's destroying his own his basically his best his cash cow, his biggest cash cow, America, his crown jewel. You know, and destroying really all of the Western civilization, the whole world, really, not just Western civilization, the whole world. You know, which he runs. You know, Western so-called civilization. You know, because it's anything but this whole world. You know, thinking that he's going to create a new world order, a great reset. You know, be able to redo everything. He's drunk, man, and destroying. Also to destroy Jacob. No, he really his first priority is to destroy Jacob. That's why he's doing all that. But he's destroying his own. He's destroying the other heathens, and he's destroying his own people in order to destroy us. You know, also because showing you he's drunk too. Also how the curses are hitting Esau now. You know, they're cleaving unto him now. And even though they're still on our people, they're now they're cleaving unto him. And you know, that's another way that they're doing it, cleaving unto him. And let me you know, hey, you know, this devil, he's just coming down with great wrath because he know that his time is short, man. You know, and hey, you know there's that type of, you know, when someone's like someone's drunk and is going into a rage, that's just devil right now. He's drunk and he's going into a rage, and you're gonna see the full extent of it, Jacob's trouble. You know, he's gonna start throwing shit, gonna start destroying everything in his path. He's gonna start fighting random dudes, random people out there, to start fighting them and shit. And he's gonna go into a complete rage because he knows that his time is short, man. He knows that he fucked up. He fucked it up again, you know, which was he couldn't help because he's a puppet, but he doesn't know it. You know, so he's pissed off that he fucked it up. And he's pissed off that Jacob got next. So he's gonna primarily be coming after us. But while coming after us, he's gonna be destroying everybody else. You know, the other heathens and Esau, you know, his own people, the nation of Esau. You know, because, you know, also because Jacob is scattered among all nations as well, and he knows this. And a lot of Jakes are here in America, so it's like by destroying us, by destroying us, he's destroying himself. Revelation 12:12. You know, because America's Babylon, so the land of the north, so a lot of Jakes would be here. Let me get Revelation 12:12. Hey, the land of the north, North America. Well, let me get Revelation 12:12. You know, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devils come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Then woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea. If you're not one of the elites, you know, and if you're not what either part of the elites of Esau, you know, maybe these other heathen nations as well, you know. So if you're not part of the elites of Esau or the elites of Jacob, which is the elect of Jacob, which is we're not in authority right now. Then woe unto you. You're gonna, it's gonna be bad for you, because the elect is gonna be shielded from this devil's wrath, which is really, he's the instrument that is being used to create, to bring the wrath of the Most High Yahweh, and his son Yahweh Shai. They have one mind upon the inhabitants of the earth and the sea. Particularly our people, but because our people was going off, but also these heathens is gonna pay. And the heathens, man. Armageddon is the ultimate judgment of the heathens, of Esau, the heathens, and the 2/3. Armageddon, and then slavery for the heathens. Their judgment ending after 1,000 years, but they're still gonna be in subjection to us. We're not. They're still gonna be in subjection to us, never to gain power again. Because they're not fit to rule. And Esau being done away with. The end of Esau's judgment is him being done away with. Just eradicated. And Esau knows this. The heathens know they're going down too, which is why, they've been cooperating with Esau, but they also know they're not going to have a chance to rule again. So they're plotting on Esau. And even these other Edomites is plotting because they know America is the last empire of Esau. But they want to stop that. They want to be the next. The EU wants to be next, and Russia wants to be next. The next Edomites to rule and shit. But it's not going to happen. Even the 1948ers themselves, man, they want to. Well, they're ruling right now, but they, 1948er, the 1948er state, the leaders of that country, even they want to be next, man. Which is why they're going to fuck over America, and they're going to fuck over NATO countries. Try to get them entangled in a war with Russia and Iran and all of them to destroy all of them. Because they think they're going to come out in the end, And really, all these heathens are going to be destroyed and our land is going to be cleansed. They know that, but, let me get it. Because also, why do the heathen rage, man? They know it, but they don't want to accept it. They want to fight it. Verse 13, and when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. The woman representing Israel, Jacob, representing the Israelites as his people. Verse 14, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time and half a time from the face of the serpent. And they did this in Rome, but they're going to do this again, man. 70 AD, the sequel. This time the Northern Kingdom is going to be caught up in the mix. 70 AD, the sequel. Because they came down in 70 AD because of what Yahushua did. And he knew they didn't have that power no more, man. So they just destroyed the temple. They got Esau through a fit, man, because of what Yahushua did. He destroyed the temple. He was just like, let me just take out all the Israelites. Let me just take out all the Israelites, man. Fuck these people, because Esau went Cain mode. So our people had to flee. But he's going to do it again because our people are waking up. Verse 15, and the serpent cast out of his mouth, and he thought he had our people. He thought he had our people. But he's finding out he didn't, and he's pissed. Verse 24, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly, into the wilderness, into a place where she is nourished for a time and half a time from the face of the serpent. And the first time around, it's talking about, we went into the wilderness, it's talking about journey into West Africa, the other parts of the world, and then from there, mainly to America, but also to other places, like Western Europe and shit, just around the world, mainly in America, the Americas, and Western Europe. because our people was taking the slaves there to Americas, taking the slaves to Western Europe. You know, also our people that was ruling Europe. You know, they was taken down. You know, they was sold. Most of them, but not all of them. You know, not all of them. Like, so you have descendants of our people that was ruling Europe that is still there. You know, they're the speckled birds. You know, but a lot of them was taking slaves here to America, to the U.S., to the Caribbeans, and Australia, and other parts, man. Speaking of the so-called Irish, man, that was is that you know they're speckled birds, they're Blake Griffins. You know, they come from so-called black people from Southern Kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, or Levi. It's 244. Kala Yahba Shim Yahshai. Hashem Rakakadash. It's just more confirmations, is what it is. 1143, you know, rearrange that 143, one, you know, it's put 3 and 1 together, it's 144. You know, but, you know, yeah, so we're mainly, you know, America, you know, that's that main place where Jacob is at, you know, today in captivity, New Egypt. But it's like, it's a spiritual wilderness, you know. That's what a wilderness got. It turned into, hey, it's a spiritual wilderness, man. You know, all kinds of philosophies being pushed. Our people seeking after all kinds of idols, man. Practicing all kinds of religions. Spiritual and lost in the spiritual wilderness, but being nourished. In captivity, but being nourished, man. Where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. Speaking of those 250 years, approximately, where our people was like, you know, here, man, in the U.S., man, Egypt, our people was like, yeah, man, because you take a look at it, times, right, a time, 100 times 200, you know, multiple 200 years. It's symbolic language, man. They ain't gonna be straight up with it because it was also the Most High Yahweh's way of getting this message to us. You know, he wrote it in code. So only the elect could understand. You know, after the seal had been loosened. You know, it was actually a coded message that was given to us. Slipped right through Esau. Right past Esau, right past the heathens. You know, right. Hey, you know, Most High Yahweh was a man of war. But yeah, man, a time and times, Salakia, not 250, 350. A time and times and half a time from the face of the servant. Because, yeah, man, that was the times that we was in the spiritual wilderness. All of us was lost, man. 1600s, okay. Well, all the tribes was in captivity, man, all at once. 1600s, and the 1718, New Egypt / Babylon, you know, 1718, around the mid 1900s. That was when our people was starting to be woken up. That was when curses was being slowly be taken off of us. Because first we get at our identity, and also the freedom of speech was actually given to our people around that time period. Because before we couldn't say shit about Esau. The so-called civil rights movement, you know, even though it was a bullshit movement that destroyed our people, it also did this. It also, get put Esau in a position to where he had to allow our people to speak out against him, man. And he gets his queendom, man. allowing the truth to be spread openly. So Esau was drunk when he did that. Esau was drunk when he did that. Hold on. You know, that benefited us. That benefited us. Shit. Hold on. Hey, Esau fumbled the bag because he was drunk. But he didn't know how to handle a bag from the get-go. No way he didn't. He didn't know how to do it from the get-go, man. That was his rough draft. This is rough draft king. Now he ripping it up. Realizing he fucked up. He actually built his kingdom based off of his rough draft. Rough draft design, man. Build something off of rough draft design, you know. Not gonna be good. Not gonna hold up. This is the devil. The devil built his kingdom like that. You know what I'm saying? Let me get back into this. Slack for the interruption. Let me get back into this. All right. Yeah, man. These devils. You know they know they fucked up. You know they know they fucked up. You know they designed their kingdom off of rough draft design. And they turned it off. Any king. They designed the kingdom off. They said they said this toward the design up, bro. And they're like, wait, shit, it don't work. It's not gonna work. They're like, no, fuck it. It sounds good to me. That sounds good to me too. You know, they talk about drugs. They're like, fuck all this shit, man. Fuck all this shit. Fuck all this shit, man. I'm gonna tear that shit up. I'm gonna destroy my own shit. Even with this bug draft, these devils were doing all right. Even with that shitty design they had, they was doing all right for a little while. But they was like they got drunk, man. Esau got drunk. Esau got high off his own supply, caught the curses, and now hey, you know, he realized his time is short, man. Realized his time is short, so he's also pissed off. So he's just he's tearing down a so-called white boy race, and he's tearing down his own kingdom. fucking over his own people. Lead to like, fuck those useless haters, man. So he's bringing plagues on his own and on his own kingdom. He's bringing disaster on his own kingdom because he's hold on, he's using the HARP machine to do it, the chemtrails, the direct energy weapons to destroy his own kingdom and his own people, trying to destroy us. The first objective, trying to destroy us. There's a lot of us in Babylon. A lot of us in Babylon, a lot of us depend on Babylon too, even being outside Babylon. And, a lot of us are scattered among the other nations and among Esau. A lot of the speckled birds, a lot of the ones that look like Esau are here in Babylon as well, in captivity. He's trying to destroy all of Jacob. Particularly the elect. So you don't know where the elect is. So he's just hitting everything. like when it's like a kid with blindfolded trying to get up to the mountain, right? But he's drunk. He's pissed off as well. He's hitting everything. Big show, man. When we've been in this big show in the bag, I was reading out how we basically what happened from the last time you saw lost this shit in a major way. We got witness, really talking about America as spiritual witness. We had to feed into West Africa and into other parts of the world, mainly West Africa, and then to America. We was taking slaves to the Americas, captivity. Nourished for two times, and it does say 2 times, it says times, and because again the scriptures are written in code, and half the time. And so next time, it's going to be during, the elect is going to be the ones, getting basically nourished, in an actual physical wilderness, during when Esau rolls, and they're going to be getting nourished for a certain amount of time from the face of the serpent. Verse 15, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. Talking about his flood of lies out of his mouth, right? And flood of lies, and hold on. Flood of lies, and as well as I gotta wrap this up. As well as flood, as well as the military, doing a man after us. Esau is also going to do that. And the serpent cast out water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And they're creating, Slaka, gotta try to get to the point soon. And they're creating a justification for the flood. You know, they're creating the chaos. You know something else he's doing? Creating the chaos to bring the order, so they can come after us, man, after Jake, but not even but the 2/3. You know, yeah, he's gonna take them out. He hates Jake. You know, wants to take all of us out for good measure, and because he hates us. Don't forget about that. He hates us, but he also wants to take out. He really wants to take out the elect. The elect are the priority of Esau, you know, and their priority when it comes to who he wants to take out the picture. For those of y'all that are watching or going to watch this video, keep in mind that you're on Esau's red list. You know, keep that in mind. You're on Esau's red list, man. You know, FEMA red list. You know, FEMA blue. You know, FEMA got different lists for different people how they gonna handle when they round them up, put them in the FEMA camps. FEMA red list, and put to death on sight. You know, leaders of opposition movements. The Hebrew Israelites, one of them, as well as movements they see as traitor movements among their own people, among the heathens. And those who follow, man, those who watch on the red or yellow list, man. I'll probably be wait, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Red list versus yellow list, because red and black list was combined. So red list versus the yellow list. And the yellow list, I believe, is everybody else. Hold on. The yellow list, I believe, is everybody else. Like people that don't fucking know, that don't know shit. You know, that most likely submit to their agenda, most likely listen to the propaganda bullshit, take the jab and the cross, the chip and the dip and the chip, which is our fighting chip I'm referring to, that mark of the beast. Yeah. Yeah, the people who think that people like me are crazy. How about that? The yellow list people. You know, they're a lot of them is gonna be disposed of just because they don't need them. You know, even if they submit, take the jab in the arm, the stabbing jab, and then the cross, man. And they cross the Most High. Take that mark of the beast. And a lot of them they don't get rid of. Let me look it up just to make sure I'm right about which list is which. FEMA red list. Hold on.